good. All right, we're live.
Yes.
Karen, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it. Let's pop these Trulies.
Here we go. Okay, we're ready.
All right, you are officially the first doctor on our podcast. You are also officially the first podcaster on our podcast that doesn't host the podcast. So, I mean, you know, kudos. We're breaking new ground.
There we are, doing some new things, opening it up.
So, but yeah, I think we wanna know, what exactly do you study? What do you do, and what's your specialty in?
So I went to medical school, a traditional Western trained medical school in Wisconsin, and then did my training in, which is called your residency, where you do 3 years of training in family medicine in Merced, California, which brought me to California from Wisconsin. Thank you very much. I'm much happier here.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I'm a Californian that just happened to spend the first 25 years in Wisconsin.
25 years.
Then I've been here.
But you're officially
So official.
Californian.
Yeah.
Okay. There you
So much. I was meant
You don't look
here.
like a cheesehead to me.
Oh, I have one though. Oh, I should have brought that. I could have worn that.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
Next time.
Next one.
You're a Packers fan?
Very much so.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's fine. That's not my division.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're good?
Yeah, we're good. I'm
you?
a Dallas fan.
Oh,
Cowboys.
gosh.
I'm Steelers. So,
Okay. Well,
and
I'm
you
sorry.
you guys got us a
I'm
Super
sorry.
Bowl. I forgot what Super Bowl it was. It's like 50 or something. No, 48. I forgot which one.
I can't remember.
I try to forget that one, actually, to be honest with you.
Sure. I would too.
But you also hosted a podcast.
I did.
Okay.
So I got trained in family medicine and I practiced family medicine in Davis, California. And I have always been interested in more integrative, alternative attempts at treating people. And not just practicing traditional Western medicine. So cannabis was one of the things that I kind of started doing. And then I got approached to do a podcast called Doctors on Cannabis, where with my co-host and myself, we interviewed a variety of different people and their various specialties within the cannabis industry.
Cannabis. That's the secret word.
It is.
That's the drink word. So if you're listening at home and you hear the word cannabis, you got to drink with us.
I will say it many
shot.
times.
So what kind of got you in? I don't want to say alternative medicine because I don't know if that's bad or not. But what got you into that?
Training in Merced, interestingly enough, there's a huge population of Hmong and Latino, and they have a tendency to want to do different things that are from different backgrounds. And I kind of discovered that those things work.
Really?
And so there's a lot of
Like what? Like
age-old herbal thing. I mean,
Okay.
actually a lot of grandmas have a oil jar in their cupboard in Latino families that have cannabis in it. I mean, I think it's pretty common, along with probably a lot of other herbs and different homeopathic treatments. And there's always like some salve that they'll rub on you and things like that we learned about. And we're like, and then they'd work.
Wow.
Also, we do pretty good with all the acute things in Western U.S. medicine. We're great doing surgeries and broken bones and infections and antibiotics and stuff like that. But chronic disease, chronic pain, chronic mental illness, addiction issues, we kind of do a really bad job, in my opinion. So I'm constantly seeking new ways to approach dealing with chronic disease.
Okay. All right.
Diet, exercise, meditation,
Of course.
Reiki, acupuncture, all the things. Like I have friends in all those areas.
Have you ever gotten Reiki before?
I have.
You have. Does it work? Because
it does.
I'm skeptical.
I love it. No,
Okay.
it really makes a huge difference in my mental state mostly.
Okay.
I actually go for a massage, but it's not a massage. They don't actually touch you. It's more just energy medicine. My practitioner is someone that I have trained with. I'm actually a first-degree provider of Reiki as well.
Oh.
I did the training. And so when you understand it and learn about it, I kind of came to realize I had been doing it and not realizing it. Like just how I touch people and like hold people's hands when they're, telling me different stories of their medical issues.
What's the difference between that and regular touching or I mean,
it's a little more directed. So like your thoughts are being sent out. I know a lot of people think it's pretty woo woo.
No,
I'm pretty woo woo.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like if you believe in it hard enough, it's so true.
Exactly.
I think I read like this one study. I can't remember what magazine did it. It was a magazine, and they did a study on prayer, and it showed that families that prayed for their loved ones going into something typically had a higher success rate of surviving like a procedure or an illness, getting rid of an illness than those that didn't pray for their loved ones.
Right.
But of course, when you're at that time, you do whatever you can. So praying is just, for some people, that's their language of transferring
Correct.
like that energy. And so to see other people describe it a different way, that's pretty dope. But
it's lots of different things, you know? Like, and the piece of you having to believe in it is placebo, which is very powerful. I mean, whenever an actual study is done and they do a comparison to a placebo, it's never that the placebo does nothing. Like, so you have to like consider that in those studies. The placebo is always like 15%, and then there's the statistical difference of if the medicine changed something more so than the placebo. Like, that's how almost all research studies are about like testing drugs and stuff or other interventions.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. I don't get it.
The mind is powerful.
Your mind literally is the like power center to your body.
How does that even
If you think you're sick, you'll make yourself sick, even if there's not necessarily anything wrong with you. Yeah.
There's a lot of that mind-body medicine. Mind is very powerful. It's hard because then people think it's kind of like almost a victim blaming, like, oh, you're sick, you made yourself sick. So we don't want to go there.
Yeah.
We don't want to go there.
Yeah.
It was just an example.
Because
like,
there's sickness that people get due to other genetic, physiologic reasons. But definitely there's a lot of things that people do have some mind control. I mean, I can tell you on days I didn't want to go to school, I could get my temp up. Like, I could convince my mother that I was not well.
Just those days that I didn't feel like going, I instantly knew, hey, my head is a lot hotter. Maybe I can get away with this.
Everything. No, those are powerful. But also, when people say to me, oh, Dr. Mo, you're saying it's in my head, I say yes. And that organ in your head is the most powerful, the least understood organ in the human body. So it is in your head. Things are happening. Lots of things.
Dang, man. So when you study like other alternatives to just medicine, do you ever look up like CBD? And I don't know if you know anything about.
I do.
Okay, a lot of people still like really don't know what CBD is. Like they think it's still THC and they think it's still bad. And
so what's so funny is that's your demographic. So your demographic is coming to me saying, where's the THC? How much THC? Is it this much? That must make it good.
Yeah.
Like, that's good weed if it has high THC.
A high THC. Is it?
So that's your demographic. So the talk I gave today that I was telling you about earlier was to an older population of which they usually walk into the office and say, tell me about the CBD. Because the older community is more talking about that CBD. And I want to meet you all in the middle because there's medicinal properties of THC and there's medicinal properties of CBD. And to varying degrees that you put them in ratios makes medicine for treating different things and different people. Because different people have different effects.
Different temperaments and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Wait a second. So.
You know this. Think of people that you hang out with. And smoke weed with.
Okay.
Some people like it, and some people don't. Some people go pshoom. Some people go pshoom.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. So you already know this, so I'm not teaching you anything.
No, but like the one thing that I just don't understand is like, so are you telling me that the higher the THC level is, that doesn't correlate to how schmezzed you get when you smoke weed?
No, I'm not telling you that.
Okay.
But I'm telling you that I, in my practice, am not looking for schmezzing. I am looking for medicinal assistance.
Medicinal. Okay.
So medicinal things would be like pain relief, anxiety relief, inflammation control, a variety, sleep help, a variety of different mental illnesses, focus. Some people like with ADD.
CBD, can CBD do that?
Different things. CBD with seizures, so a lot of neurologic issues.
Yeah.
The huge one that has made it very popular medicinally is the children who have those like massive back-to-back seizures, and then they can get on CBD, and that makes them stop doing that.
How does that work? How does like one chemical tell or is that?
I mean, there are receptors in our body that take these biochemicals. Interesting, we discovered in the early 90s that there is an endocannabinoid system. So our body actually makes natural cannabinoids. So there are identified cannabinoids in our system that we make. So similar, people have probably heard of things like endorphins.
Yeah.
People have heard of serotonin. That's a pretty popular buzzword.
That
People know what that is. Dopamine, right? So those are all
I
biochemicals.
like
Yeah, we all do. We all want more of it.
More,
at a
please.
base level, yeah.
But those are things our body makes, and they also make endocannabinoids. So anandamide is one of them.
So endocannabinoid.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Pretty good. You got there.
So that's different than CBD or THC?
So CBD and THC are phyto, meaning plant cannabinoids.
Okay.
They come from a plant.
Yeah,
So they're biochemically similar, but are made in a plant.
Yeah.
And there's actually hundreds of cannabinoids.
Hundreds?
Don't look at me. I'm not the doctor.
Hundreds.
What?
And this is going to start to be more of a thing people will know about in medicinal circles. There's CBN and CBG and THCA and THVA and
Oh my gosh.
there's and I mean, I'm giving you us doctors, we really like to use all those acronyms instead of saying big long words, because
you can say the big long words too.
If I could, I would.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Cannabidiol, I know that one. That's CBD.
Okay, what is THC? Let me see. Tetrahydrocannabinol.
You almost got there.
That's a hard one. Those are hard.
They are.
It's like supercalifragilistic. It's just it's just a difficult word.
I took a psychopharm class when I was in college, and that was super interesting. First off, I didn't know what to expect when I first started taking it, but you learn a lot of crazy big words in those kinds of classes.
What is it?
Psychopharm, which is basically, because I was a psych minor, and so I was learning psychology things, but that was a interesting offshoot, which is just how drugs affect your brain, sometimes body as well. But like, so you learn like your receptors, like she was saying, and like when somebody's addicted to a substance, for example, usually what's happening is those receptors are becoming numb basically to that chemical that you're putting into your body, or your body is producing even for itself.
Yeah.
So stuff like that.
Your body has a certain number of receptors, and then you fill it with a drug. Opioids are probably the main one that I would think of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most commonly known to people
now.
of addiction, right?
Okay.
And the crisis, and why I've gotten really into cannabis because we need alternatives to people who are in pain.
Yes.
So opioid receptors are open. Opioids bind there. If you do it every day, all day, eventually more receptors show up, and they need to be filled by the drug. So you upregulate receptors, and there's more. And so then what happens if you don't give yourself the proper amount? That's how people lead into tolerance and addiction, where they need higher and higher and higher amounts.
Yeah.
Then you're done fixing the problem. You're now just feeding your addiction, because these receptors are all sitting there open and they need the drug.
You're relying on it, yeah.
And then you can, through a weaning process, and that's like detox, downregulate those receptors back to normal, but you feel like crap while you're doing that.
What is the time frame of this happening? I guess we'll talk opiates.
With opioids?
Like
And again,
opioids.
opiates.
Yes.
Opiates,
You can say both.
Opioids.
They're kind of interchangeable.
Similar, yeah.
Words, yeah.
Okay.
Narcotics would be another word that they use. And sometimes what I find weird is sometimes people will say like that cannabis is a narcotic. I'm like,
So
very different.
okay. So I'm trying to learn all of this right now. So narcotics is something else.
Narcotics is kind of just another.
It's just
kind of more a buzzword, not really not really a good word. You know what I mean?
No. Okay.
Like marijuana.
Oh yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
That's the perk word.
Marijuana is not the proper medical botany term for the plant.
No, it's not. That was made like,
You know this.
yeah, because of green whatever it was. What was it? What was that movie back in the day?
Reefer madness.
Reefer Madness, marijuana.
The marijuana.
And I think it's because they were trying to like say that. I don't know. They were trying to tie some racism into it too. Okay,
Definitely
so
tied some
I didn't want to
racism
blot
into
out some bad, but no, they were saying that Mexicans would smoke it.
So they tied it
And
in with Mexican workers coming up and saying that was a bad thing. They're gonna, come after our women, things like that under the influence.
Isn't that with like?
No, that's a thing.
A bunch of different drugs were introduced to our culture that way too. Usually associated with some sort of negative stigma via the race or culture it came from.
Correct.
Or where it was put.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're going there.
Yeah.
You're the one that said don't go political. You're that guy.
It's just conspiratorial.
I do start every single one of my talks with a quote by Harry Anslinger that essentially says that marijuana is in our culture and used by entertainers and Negroes in order to get our white women. Like that. It's a quote that he said.
It really is.
It's a real quote. It's a real quote from the commissioner of what is now the DEA before a official government meeting.
Damn. Imagine living back then and just popping up. Like,
right.
just saying that shit and getting away with it.
Right.
And that's so
that was 1937. Damn. And then dial it forward about 1972 when Nixon tried to get people to write a report.
Oh, yeah.
Say whether it was bad or good. It said it was fine. It said it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
He squashed the report. The report did not get released.
No.
Nope, because he did not want it to be seen as a positive. He wanted hippies and the anti-war left out. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Making things.
No,
Making noises.
that's why he took that away. Darn Nixon.
Criminalize drugs.
Damn.
I think
just say no.
Just say no.
It's easy as like as a person that's not in that position to go, well, yeah, that's like, that's like messed up situation. But it's like, yeah, obviously they're gonna try and not have some sort of outbreak of a drug or something become heavily relied on. I mean,
Except
I'll
they did
never,
with opioids that
yeah.
big pharmaceutical companies were making money on, and they didn't care about that, and now we're in this place.
Exactly.
Sorry.
No, I just
as opposed to a plant you can grow in your backyard.
It's just
they don't want that.
No,
it
they
shows
do
you
not.
where the money and where the power's at sometimes.
All the time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so true.
Wherever the money
Sorry,
is.
were we not getting political? I don't know if we can do that with this.
How political? I mean,
I don't want to get super crazy.
We don't have to get super political.
But I mean, it's why it's considered a bad thing versus medicine, and it's medicine. I will argue that point to the death versus opioid. And there's, a lot of legal things. If we want to talk about alcohol,
oh yeah,
it's not medicine.
This shit don't cure nothing.
It might kill COVID.
Maybe.
No, I'm just kidding.
It might kill.
I haven't figured
that out yet.
It is a disinfectant.
It is.
In certain, not at this level, hopefully, or that would hurt.
I don't know. That's very weird that it's a disinfectant because I feel dirtier drinking it.
But it's legal and it has a lot of ramifications to people in their health, and doesn't have something that you use it medicinally other than as a disinfectant.
Yeah.
I feel like I was going in.
Nah.
Okay.
Can't get too far away from your mind.
I think that's funny because like alcohol is one of the few things where like the people just were loud enough that they had to bring it back. And so it was like, okay.
That's what happens.
Sorry.
That's what happens when you have both sides of the political spectrum wanting the same thing. It just it can turn something that turned illegal back legal again in a short time.
Well, that's some of the story. So go back. Hemp, which is the base of cannabis.
Yeah.
Hemp was going to become extremely popular as a boxes and bags and clothing and ropes and things like that. You can use hemp. DuPont, and you can read this. Like there's
DuPont.
really good, maker of plastics.
Mm-hmm.
Did not want hemp-based, which could just be grown crazy and
I wouldn't either.
Naturally have natural, boxes and things. So plastic, so they squashed it.
Damn, dude.
At that time, were hemp ropes and stuff very popularly used?
They could have been,
or,
yeah.
Oh, it wasn't.
They were,
quite,
and they were probably in other countries.
Okay.
I mean, so there's hemp use in lots of other countries where they are poor and don't have plastic mills or whatever they call where they make plastic.
So
mills,
Factories.
factories.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other countries that have made it illegal too.
Yes.
Is it from the same reason, same company, same people, or same industry?
That's a good question that I'm not sure I've really explored as much.
It probably depends on the country.
I mean, a place like North Korea, they banned it, but I think they just banned a lot of stuff. Yeah, but
it probably depends on the country.
But
the Netherlands, it's good.
Is it okay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very known.
But is it legal in Spain? It's not legal in Spain.
I'm not sure.
No, I don't know.
It's not legal in Japan.
It's not.
Arbitrary Japan reference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just in that world right now because I'm learning the language. So I'm just like,
oh, nice.
He's leaving to
fun
Japan.
fact. Here you go. Boom.
Fun fact. Japan fact.
Yeah.
He's going away to Japan forever.
Yeah.
Not forever, but
Now I'm ditching Chris. See ya.
Yeah.
Figure it out on your own. Just kidding.
He's
Are they
leaving.
letting you in?
It's
Not right now.
Right now, yeah.
He ain't leaving now.
Yeah. It's in the
Nobody's
future.
letting us in.
It's in the indefinite future until this calms down.
Yeah.
If it does, we'll see.
I think it will.
It will.
I think
It will eventually.
I think
It will
it'll calm
eventually.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll be smoking CBD.
There's been some studies that have shown its protective benefit as an anti-inflammatory to COVID.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause
There's some data out
yeah.
there.
Fuck. Dude, it cures everything. I'm very
Well, let me share with
okay,
you.
that's not a scientific declaration. I just want to say I have a feeling, I feel like it would, in theory, cure everything.
The medicinal components can help with a lot of physiologic problems, pathologic problems. Not smoking it exactly, though. So getting it in your lungs maybe through vape or, cleaner methods, vaporizing the medicine and getting it in you. But CBD is an anti-inflammatory. So very similar to steroid inhalers that people with asthma use.
Okay. Yeah.
And then bronchodilation, THC actually does it actually opens your breathing tubes, which is like what we use for asthma to help people when they're having an asthma attack. But when you smoke it, it creates an irritation from the combustible material, the smoke.
So is it?
But if you just could get the pure medicine through a vaporization, so if we had nebulizers, which are like the medicine, how the medicine is delivered, which is cleaner.
What is a nebulizer?
It's like people use it for asthma. It's how they get medicine fast, like when you're in the emergency room.
It's like an inhaler.
An inhaler is a slower method, so you puff, and that's what you have in your home. But a nebulizer is a machine that kind of blows it in.
Okay. All right. I think I know that.
I mean, people that have asthma know about it, especially bad asthma.
Very
It's when you go to the ER, it's like what they put you on. So you get a continuous sort of amount of medicine that you're like breathing down into your lungs. If you could put CBD in there and help you.
Dang. I wonder if I can just put CBD in like a humidifier and then just
Probably.
Or like one of those nose tubes.
throw it in my
Directly into my nose,
just
24/7.
into my brain, just on big brain the whole time, just pumping CBD into there.
Yeah.
Do you ever cook edibles?
I have not personally, but yeah, people do. A lot of people do. You make it into butter. So
I've heard.
I didn't know that. So when people would say it was edible, like when I first started getting into that, I mean, it's my understanding that you take the plant and you cook it in some way, but you make it into the fat. So either the oil or the butter, and that's how it goes into the medium that you bake it with.
Yeah.
But that's also how like homemade brownies might have one chunk that has a lot of medicine in it and one chunk that doesn't have as much.
So
you get the bad brownie stories.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
Heard
okay.
a few of those.
So I do like to make edibles. I love making them. I never even eat them. I just like give them out to people. But no, my favorite way is to just grind it all up. Got to grind it all up, throw it in a crock pot with a bunch of butter in there, melt the butter, and then throw that on top of it, stir it, and then pour it over some cheesecloth on like a tray. Not a tray, but like, one of those like bread holders that you cook bread in.
A bread
pan.
Bread pan. There you go.
Yeah, there you
A
go.
bread pan. And so you put it in there and you strain it and you just let it go, and then boom, just let that sit for a bit, and then it just hardens, and then it's like weed butter. And then you throw that in whatever goes good when you're making the marshmallows, if you're making just like those compact treats. But other than that, I don't really make anything else of it. But there's some people that make like crazy shit with that stuff. Like, I don't know how you make.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff available
yeah.
that's manufactured, and if you go to a dispensary, there's gummies
There, yeah.
and caramels,
I've seen-
chocolates.
Yeah, like
brownies,
I've seen
and
actual,
cookies.
like not just baked goods, but like I've seen like weed. Well, like, yeah, it's typically baked goods, but like, bread, weed bread.
Or you can have weed oil that you put like oil and vinegar on your salad.
Oh, I never thought of that.
You could.
I don't like the taste though.
There's also weed infused honey. People do that.
That's weird.
Like put it like in a drink or something.
I wonder if the bees would like that shit. Do you think? I don't know. Do you think bees get high? Do you think bees would get
sure
high?
it would do something to them. I don't know what.
Or
I
do
mean,
you
there's
think-
no flowers per se for a bee to get nectar from. So I don't.
Do you think bees like just eat THC like sugar cubes?
There you go.
Like just grab and go.
Every
Bees can
time,
get high.
every time I think of drugs affecting like bugs or something, I don't know if you've ever seen this video on YouTube. It's super stupid, but it's at first it seems like a legit video, and they're talking about like the effect of drugs on spiders, and they're like showing the spider shapes like of the webs and stuff, and like as it goes further and further, you're like, oh, it's like a joke video. Okay, I kind of get it. But
Oh yeah.
But
They actually do
I
that
think they
study
do
though,
something. Yeah,
where
they
it's
do
like
something,
it's
I
like this
think.
is what a spider does on caffeine,
Yeah.
on THC,
Right.
on DMT,
There you go.
all of that stuff, and the spider web comes out
Yeah, different.
super different.
Another drug, very popular, caffeine, although it has medicinal properties as well.
Does it have medicinal?
Well,
Of course,
What-
it's a stimulant.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
so
that's
it's as
right.
good
Okay.
as Ritalin. It's just, I mean, we all
If it's-
use it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how I got through. I would not have gotten through medical school without the medicine caffeine.
Yeah.
The medicine caffeine.
Yeah.
Damn, I just drink it
Well,
in the morning. And
Yeah.
then
But
just
there's studies that show people do better on tests and things like that.
really.
Oh yeah, there's studies like that.
That's
Well, think about it, because like at least like
I feel
If
like
you
I should
took
be
it
able to quote like JAMA article
Yeah, you
64,
just-
yeah.
September 2012.
just there was this
I
study
don't
back.
have that though.
well, I was just
Sorry.
saying, like think about it, like if you were still in school and you had to get up at like 8 a.m. and you had a test in your first class, would you do better awake or not on any caffeine?
I mean, I guess on
mean,
some
Just on a
caffeine,
base level,
you
like
know?
just like
It's a stimulant.
be awake
Ritalin is a
more.
stimulant. Adderall is
Yeah.
a stimulant.
Yeah.
We prescribe it to children. Caffeine is just a lower
yeah.
dose of said stimulant.
It's just
Just
like shelf
one specific
stimulant.
thing.
It helps you
versus-
focus
Yeah.
instead of squirrel.
Unless you take too much of it, and then you're just like hyper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that can be the same with those
Others ones,
medications. Yeah.
That's same with like energy drinks too, like Monster and
For
Well, yeah,
sure.
caffeine. Yeah.
That's also taurine.
And
taurine. What is taurine? What? Why
another
is
stimulant?
it's
chemical
another st-
that's what's in the
usually, yeah, they
Energy
put like
drinks.
3 or 4 different kinds of
and
stimulants.
like green tea, ginseng.
and stuff like that.
these are all terms that I've
There's
very
another one I
hazy.
forget, but there's like 4 or 5 different stimulants they use in energy drinks. That's why they're super jittery on them usually.
sometimes. I
Yeah.
feel like my first one in a while I am, and then after that I'm like, damn, I should take these more often. Never after that.
Tolerance.
It's
Yeah.
tolerance, yeah.
And it just takes one though. I don't like that. That sucks because your first time feels really good.
And you can get addicted.
You could.
To the place where it fills the receptors, and then you wake up in the morning and you have a headache because you need your caffeine.
That's why they always like pledge everything in moderation, because your body starts to get used to whatever it is that you're taking in. And so
it never gets used to taking vegetables. I don't know why that shit can't. I don't know why my body can't get that shit down.
Dang. Just
but
keep eating your veggies.
I know.
Eat your veggies.
You do. You
Chris.
gotta eat.
I have to get that in. That's a good one. And drink water. There you go.
I try to drink
2 big ones.
I try to drink a gallon of water a day. That's my new thing. Is just trying to drink. I mean, I'm outside all day at my other job, but you know, you gotta drink your water every single day. And like, we're so much water. Our bodies are so much. I don't know what the
should be.
I don't.
60%.
Yeah. Is it 60%? And just filling it up makes like a whole difference. It like, I feel like that's like the. It's like
cells aren't working well. They're like.
Yeah.
Needs that oxygen.
That's all medical terminology right there.
Sure.
I
like it. I can understand it really easily.
Every time my girlfriend, she'll tell me that she's just not feeling it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, have you drank some water today?
Yeah. It's a big one.
No. Like, dude,
so many
you're
things.
a fish.
Muscle cramps.
Yes,
headaches.
It helps.
You need water.
Headaches. Yeah. That's, I know when I haven't gotten a headache in a while, probably just because I try to drink as much water as possible, you know, and I haven't bumped my head in a while. So that's
a good choice also.
I usually can tell if I don't drink enough water because I get really grumpy and irritable. Mm-hmm. Same with food.
I just feel like I can't close my mouth. Like I just walk around with my mouth wide open, like, I need water. It's just like tight. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
And it's gross.
Not good. Drink water.
I know.
And eat food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good food though.
See, you segued into
there you go.
Like when we talk about addictions and bad things in our world that are legal, like fast food and nasty food.
That's the worst addiction.
Worst.
Yeah. That's the worst addiction.
Obesity, diabetes, heart disease, strokes. That's what America is all about. Fast food.
More people die from obesity than starvation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's insane.
Well, people are obese and starving, which is interesting because they just get a lot of bad food. So they get a lot of just sugar and fat, and they're not getting nutrients. They're not getting vitamins and antioxidants and all the good things that we need for our bodies, things to work. Vitamins.
Not to throw this company under the bus, but I'm totally going to. Did you see the thing that came out where Subway's bread is not allowed to be legally considered bread anymore?
Because it's so much sugar in it.
Yeah,
all
types of them, like even the wheat bread. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Nah, what?
They put sugar in bread?
It's mostly sugar, I guess.
What?
Yeah.
McDonald's French fries, why we're addicted to them is because it's sugar.
Sugar, yeah.
There's sugar on
sodium,
their French fries.
Basically.
Sugar and salt on their French fries.
2 super addicting.
I can't trust
ingredients.
Anything. I can't trust the food in America. I really can't.
You just gotta be very aware of what you're eating.
I do think Taco Bell's okay. I'm just referencing like another podcast that I saw that you did that you were talking about Taco Bell.
Taco Bell is good though.
I know.
Taco Bell's good?
I think on the spectrum of food, it's pretty good.
Yes.
I mean, it has
Doctor approved Taco Bell.
I mean, I don't think it's the best, but it's better than like I don't want to throw other businesses under the bus.
Because they throw a lot of beans and rice in there, and that you can't fuck that up.
Right.
Usually, at least there's something.
Tortillas.
redeemable.
I mean, it's just tortillas. People like tortillas.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
you just have to moderation.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just can't have that cheap ass beef that they throw in there. That is where they put. I'm sure there's sugar in there.
They might.
Maybe. I don't know.
They might.
I'm sure the sauces have a lot of sugar in it.
It's so weird to associate sugar with savory flavored.
Yeah.
Like
that's
items.
how they get you.
That's those bastards.
Well, like 90% of the condiments like here have sugar in them.
Oh.
Yeah. It's basically sugar. That's what I'm saying.
A lot of them have sugar.
So think about the sauces and stuff. Special sauces of any company probably have a ton of sugar in them. So especially if you think about it like it's so good. Like you going back to it, probably has a lot of sugar in it.
Well, even just drinks. So
yeah.
Again, I won't throw particular companies under the bus, but some coffee drinks that really are this much coffee and this much sugar.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And these kids And that's just creating addicted kids to the point that they need that level of sugar to even taste. It changes their taste buds.
Not only that, okay.
It does.
But the branding of these companies are also so spot on that they get you in multiple levels of your senses, from your taste to the look of it. I mean, you know, the specific coffee companies that you think of that, you know, people are just reoccurring customers that get their regular drink or two, you know, and they know
every day
people by name, and it's like that logo. That's like the visual, you know, when you drive by and you see the different.
It's your creature comfort.
Yes, yeah. And
people know you. They get to, you know.
That's why marketing is so crazy when it comes to like food and everything. And it's just, it's such a wild, wild west right now. I feel like in the future, something may change that, like law. I feel like law would change that and just say, no, you can't put smiley faces on all this. I mean, bullshit, you know?
There are some laws like that to not gear some things toward children.
Yeah.
So there's some mild restrictions in there, but they usually
putting like, you know,
ways around
loopholes,
a toucan on a fucking on a box of, you know, sugary bread bits, you know, you can't.
Right.
Like that's got to stop. And it's colorful and they're all dyed. They're all dyed.
So much of our food is dyed.
It's so, oh my gosh. There's even dye in just everything. There's even in ketchup.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You smash down tomatoes, you think you don't need to do anything else to red, but they just, let's make it more red. And
it's not usually that vibrant.
No, it's not.
Well, there's some brands that aren't as vibrant.
No,
yeah, you can buy those like organic,
they don't look pretty
local,
though.
Whatever.
But I'm talking affordable, you know.
I mean,
the one
you could probably find them. It's just people know those brands, they see them everywhere, and so they're like, I'm gonna get that. They don't think about it too hard.
I don't know. I always get the cheapest one. It's great value. Boom. That one's the red.
There you go.
But I did have some green ketchup. You ever seen the green? You know, like the
tomatillos?
No.
Or they just dye it.
It was like a Nickelodeon special ketchup.
Talking about the thing from a long time ago.
It was just recently.
They did it for like Shrek when it first came out a long time ago. Heinz
they did that for Shrek, but I'm talking like Great Value teamed up with Nickelodeon.
For like slime.
And made slime ketchup. Okay. And I had that shit for way too long because every time I invited people over and had hot dogs or something, French fries.
No one wanted it.
Nobody ever wanted it.
It's like placebo effect. See, mind is powerful. Bring us back to the beginning.
And you taste it and it tastes just like ketchup.
But it doesn't in your mind.
It does.
Marketing. Green is not an appetizing color.
And
I am going to disagree.
I mean, like, yeah, but like in this in this like conditioned society,
it'll make it tast worse for sure, or it'll make you
placebo.
Yeah, like
it won't taste like you think it should.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you're conditioned that ketchup's like bright red. So like if it's green, you're like, this should be like rotten or something. I don't know.
But I don't know.
Expectation.
Dude, you know what the weirdest thing is? I don't know. Maybe I just don't know.
The weirdest thing in the whole world?
Nope, I do not know.
One of many weird things.
I'm curious.
I may not know anything about culinary arts or any, so this may be stupid, but I have no clue how you can make like a Big Mac just the same every single time with the patty. I don't know. How do you cook a burger?
You freeze them
without changing. Like
it's a time. It has a timer.
Well, like it doesn't. It's not raw though. Like you can't throw it.
Yeah, but it's a temperature.
Everything's automated.
It's all automated.
I'm just talking about fast food specific.
I don't know. I'm just talking about because I just had McDonald's the other day. So, but those Big Mac patties, that's not natural.
No, it's not.
That's not. That's made out of
something.
I don't know.
They also have like everything pre-cut. Everything's got like those cutter shapes and stuff. You see how they make those like McGriddles and stuff? They have like the egg shape thing for the grill and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so they do everything like to look a certain way. But more than anything, it's probably prioritize how it looks versus how it tastes or how it,
Well, and every place has that. So Wendy's even had the square burgers.
Yeah.
So that was
It's
their
aesthetic.
thing.
That was weird.
That was their thing.
Yeah.
that's still a thing. But yeah.
Oh yeah. But that's
Are they still open?
still fucking weird.
Not,
No,
yeah, they're still open.
still open.
Yeah.
Your
Right.
local one probably
Davis
closed down.
one closed,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah. No, I don't really care for them. I didn't really care for
Okay.
Wendy's.
I really don't
so.
eat fast food anymore.
I don't
Me
know.
either.
I try to stay away from it. My brother bought it for me though, so
When you're
can't
off,
say no to free food.
I've been-
Never.
it's one of those things where you don't realize how like not addicted, but like how much your tolerance is built up for those things until you start to wean off of sugar, for example. Like I've watched every sugar, like every label that I take in now, just because everything has it. And then when you start to go, like say you lapse one day and you go have fast food, and you're just like, this doesn't taste right. This tastes artificial.
Right.
And it's just
Well,
like that for certain things.
So people think of yogurt. Yogurt's like a health food, right? Like that's healthy.
Don't destroy yogurt, please.
It depends on the yogurt.
Every
but-
single yogurt that has added fruit,
yeah.
look at the sugar content. You need to get
no.
plain yogurt
Those,
and
like-
then add your own fruit. So like buy strawberries or blueberries and put it in your plain yogurt.
Yeah,
and
you
then you're
gotta do
good.
that.
But if
Okay.
the gelatinous, fruity
Yeah.
stuff is in there, the sugar content is usually like 14 grams,
It's-
17
it's
grams.
It's ridiculous.
Sometimes you can get real yogurt with like fruit on the side, like it'll have a thing, but usually
That's crap.
it's like
You want to get like
you gotta,
real
yeah,
blueberries,
you can do that too.
real strawberries.
also protein bars. Protein
Oh yeah,
bars.
sugar.
Look at the sugar.
Oh my god, they shouldn't be called protein bars. They should be called sugar bars.
There are protein bars that have low sugar. So look at
Oh
there
yeah,
It's all
there
branded.
are.
There was actually
They're
actually
very hard to find.
they are. I actually listened to a podcast called My Unmillennial Life.
Okay,
Can I
okay.
post it? Can I talk about it?
Yeah, no, go for
So
it.
that's
yeah.
a podcast that I listen to, and it's funny because it's for people like myself who are of non-millennial generation, but we want to be cool. Like, right? We want to be
In
millennial.
the loop.
So she had a whole podcast about that.
Okay.
on protein bars.
Protein bars. There was one whole one on protein bars. I mean, there was one on like false eyelashes too. But I mean, the protein bar one kind of sticks with what we're talking about.
False eyelashes. Did you guys not have that a while ago?
I mean, not like the kind of way
I think
they do things now that are
they like
implants and things. There's all
yeah,
kinds of
the
things.
like
yeah.
baseline that people go to alter their body now is a lot different than it used to be.
Oh yeah.
Like people do a crazy shit now, just as like a normal line.
Oh yeah.
I
It's
have
like,
never
what?
touched my brows.
Never. You don't put like.
Nothing. My daughters do a lot with their brows. There's so much
Oh,
brow
your
work.
eyebrows, not your
Yeah,
eyelashes. Okay, I
eyebrows.
thought- okay.
There's so much brow
don't-
work in millennials.
Yeah, they like. They like color it in,
Or
Well, it depends, yeah, but yeah.
so it looks.
they've really gone off on tangents. I love it.
That's this podcast
so
in a
me.
nutshell.
I
yeah.
love it.
Just ADHD the podcast.
That's the theme of the podcast, which is just
I fit in.
yeah. There you
just
go.
having a
Yay,
conversation.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh yes.
Thank you for making me feel normal.
Yeah,
Oh
no
yeah,
problem.
of course.
This is how I normally talk to people.
If you don't feel normal on this podcast, I don't know.
I don't know
we're
where
not-
you feel normal.
we
Going off on tangents is
Yeah.
the way that I speak.
That's how the channel is. Just tangent after tangent after tangent. I think
That's
that's
your brand.
That's the beauty of it. Yeah. You don't know. You know, they say that you want to be predictable when you're making content. I don't like that.
No, I agree.
I want to bring on someone who writes songs and then the next week bring on a doctor
Yeah.
who dressed up as a hippie for Halloween
There you go.
month.
I think it's more fun. It's more entertaining.
But
Plus, it's not like we're being characters.
No, we're just
we
chatting.
could. We should have.
This is
We
like
should have
how
held
we would-
character the whole time.
How would you act like you should have had green ketchup on your own.
Could. I should have just thrown out the green ketchup.
You would have thought ahead
I
to that
need
we
to-
were going to talk about green ketchup.
Yeah,
You know,
alter.
by the way, I ended up having to throw it away because it went bad.
course.
And ketchup lasts a long time.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of preservatives in it.
But I couldn't get anybody to eat it. And I don't really eat ketchup myself.
Me neither.
No, I'm more of a barbecue sauce guy. If there's
Right.
a difference, but yeah, I don't like ketchup. Just the tomatoes ain't me. Tomatoes.
Do you not like tomatoes, or do you not like ketchup, or do you not like both?
I'm more of a mustard guy.
But do you eat tomatoes?
No, not at
Really?
all. No burgers, none of that.
See, I like tomatoes, but I don't like ketchup.
Dude, no, I can't. Oh, really? That's
Because
And I've
ketchup's
known
just sugar,
I've
basically.
known people who like ketchup but not tomatoes.
Yeah, well, I know, like, most people don't like tomatoes, and I'm just like, well, that's more for me, I guess.
I love tomatoes.
Yeah, they're good.
I mean, I'll eat
Lycopenes,
Also-
antioxidants, they're good for you.
I noticed, like, a lot of people that don't like fruits in general, don't have good, like, ripe fruits. Like, ripe fruits versus, like, an unripe fruit is so different.
Oh, they're
Sure.
different.
Well, I'm
So
gonna
different.
I'm gonna take this back to CBD.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I do
Do
that?
it. Yeah.
You just segued for me.
Okay.
So people that don't like fruit because they've had bad fruit.
Yeah.
Okay, so the market has a lot of CBD products out there that are not from licensed cannabis dispensaries. This is one of my pet peeve points that I like to make, so I'm going to do it, and I'm going to take that segue. CBD, if you buy it at a grocery store, you get it online, it's not through a licensed cannabis dispensary, you have no idea how much CBD is in that product. There is no third-party testing done on that product, so you have no idea what might be in it. They can say whatever they want is in it.
Isn't there, like, those hemp waters and stuff they sell? Isn't there, like,
You have
no
no
proof
idea.
that there's, like, even anything in
There
it?
might not be anything. I mean, no one's testing it. So there's no third. So versus in the state of California, licensed cannabis dispensaries have to have tested every product that they're selling that has what it actually has in it, what percentage and milligrams of cannabinoids, as well as making sure there's no pesticides, no heavy metals, no fungus, no other yucky things you wouldn't want to ingest,
Yeah.
right? So we don't know that. So every product that's sold that's a hemp-based CBD loan product, just bought over the counter, you have no idea what's in it. So, and how that segued to what you said is that then people go buy this stuff. They rub, they rub the CBD cream on, or they take the CBD chocolate or whatever, and they're like, that didn't work. But we have no idea what CBD is in it.
Yeah.
And then it gets a bad name.
I noticed that with the hemp water thing, because I did a little bit of research into it just because I was like, I'll try it. And then I looked into it, and I was like, there's no confirmation that any of these brands actually you don't know what they put in it or if they put anything in it.
Yo, what the fuck is hemp water though?
Well, that's another problem.
It sounds really
that's another thing.
nasty.
You don't know. Like,
It sounds like swamp water.
it is like an unattractive
Hey, yo.
name.
You want some hemp water?
I think they weren't allowed to put like CBD
There,
water.
I'll squeeze you some more.
Out of the bar rag.
I think that's their loophole for their name.
It sounds terrible.
It's not good.
It
I
can't
agree.
be good. It can't be good.
I think it's because they can't put CBD water.
Now, I am going to say there probably are some products out there that on their own do get tested and have certificates on their web pages that say, this year we tested our product and here's our, like, we paid for it.
Yeah, I'm
You
sure.
can
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
there
You can
is.
seek that. So I have a lot of patients come to me. They tell me, here's the product I bought. Can you look it up? I go look it up. I make phone calls, like, send emails. And sometimes I get, here's our certificate for the year. And it has to be every year because cannabis is a crop. You don't want like 3-year-old cannabis.
Yeah, no.
No.
You want this year's cannabis, right? So you want to report a certificate that says this crop had this amount in it and made it into this product. So they try to scam you by putting like good looking certificates, but they're from like 2015. You're like,
So do you?
Or they put, not to interrupt you, but like they'll put like little seals on it that aren't really, don't mean anything.
don't mean anything.
Just like a little
Let's
thing
not get
that's a
political,
design.
but
Organic.
Apparently now you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, because
Organic.
the excuse is like, oh, organics, yeah, that
Or is
word
it like-
means nothing anymore.
Bad.
But like, just you can get away with it because it's like it's branding, it's marketing, it's so you can just put a bunch of crap on the front. And be
Okay,
like,
so if they legalize this, if we legalize it wide scale, everything's going to be using some hemp, some CBD, some THC. Do you think that it's going to be ran by like the attorney general or whoever, or do you think it's going to be whoever slaps the fucking like do not drink beer if you're pregnant, like that guy, like is it gonna fall under him, or are we gonna have to make a whole section of like government regulations?
Do you want to know what I think is gonna happen or what I would like to happen?
What do you think is gonna happen?
Both sound very interesting, actually.
I want to hear the gonna happen first.
Yeah.
I think that's what's gonna happen. What you just said.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, if it ends up being federally legal, it's gonna fall under criminal because like they still think of it as that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think we should dial it all back and treat it as food.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I think it should be under like almost like nutrition or food or like,
like
how
USDA.
we regulate.
Huh.
But that I don't know what I know. That's just
Yeah.
I just bet it would be. I bet it would be better regulated as to what it actually is.
Yeah.
So I think of it like a cannabis plant. Okay, so you plant a plant and you hybridize it to have a certain amount of cannabinoids, all the hundreds that we talked about, as well as terpenoids.
Oh shit!
Which are like the essential oils.
I gotta. I didn't take notes on this. I should have brought a piece of paper with me.
Piece of paper.
Damn it!
I'll send you my slides.
Okay, there we go. Yes, send me the PowerPoint.
You can listen to the podcast back. Get a summary.
My other podcast, there's things that we talk about all this stuff.
Yes.
Each of those we had different people talking about different things like that.
Okay.
So terpenoids is another factor. That's what, you talk about your indica, your sativa is really more the terpenoid profile probably than the actual cannabinoids.
Yeah.
So like,
that's what I hear.
yeah.
It's usually...
So like linalool is like what's in lavender. So what do you think that does? Get you a little more indica.
I wouldn't even know what.
Yeah, see, you wouldn't know.
I don't know. So wait, can you smoke lavender?
I would not suggest that at all.
Could, I guess.
There were some kids in high school that
do
smoked
not
lavender.
smoke
There was
lavender.
some kids. There
You
was some
probably should
kids
just
at my.
smoke random things.
Yeah, there was
and like oregano and like.
There was some kids that smoked lavender, and they're like, yo, it helps you out.
No.
Like, do this, and I was like, for word.
I'm gonna say no. I don't know that for sure.
I never did it because
but
I
I'm
was.
gonna say no.
I was
kid
scared.
for sure didn't know.
I was scared of weed back then, so I definitely didn't do lavender because I didn't know who the fuck was doing lavender.
What's a lavender?
I smoking lavender.
I
knew what that shit was when I was a kid too, because
No.
it was just everywhere. My mom had some lavender, and I was like, "You smoke that?" But then looking at it, it does look like buds.
A little. It could.
So it's enticing.
both plants.
It's
They're both
enticing, but no, lavender is just for smelling. just,
But it's helpful.
just for enjoying.
It's helpful.
Or in small doses, you can drink it in teas.
But before we get out of here, tell us where we can find your podcast.
It's Doctors on Cannabis.
Doctors on Cannabis.
We have a season of podcasts. I think there were 8 total.
Okay. All right.
We
Where's it on?
Spotify, Facebook,
okay,
Instagram,
okay.
like all the things.
All right. Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much, Karen. We are out of time, but
That was good. That went
we
fast.
appreciate. Yeah, I know it went by. I can't believe we're at like 50, almost 55 minutes.
I did pull it back to cannabis from eyelashes. Though,
Yes,
so that was good.
that's good. That was a good segue too.
We're able to reconnect everything.
They just full circle. That's what I want. That's what I want the podcast.
Oh wait, I did forget to say because we did talk about planting in your backyard, of which I have.
Oh,
and
yes,
I brought you a gift.
Yes,
Nice
I got
save.
a gift. Yes. Oh, look at this. This is a jar.
It's in a peanut butter jar, but
Ooh, let me smell it.
That's some fancy peanut butter.
Damn, I was running low as fuck too. I was about to buy some today, but thank you so much, Karen. Thank you for coming on the show. We
Salud.
appreciate
It's
it.
nice to meet you.
And thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a good night.
I've got to go get my ship.
oh my god,
Yarr! We should do a
about to
whole
pass
podcast in pirate voice.
I thought about doing that.
Yarr!
I didn't have a chance to come in.
oh my god,
That's why I had the hat on for a long time. I was like, I'm going to see if I can do pirate speak the whole time. But
sweating.
yeah, I'm tired.
Go ahead and shut.